Hello, 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 hello. This is Monster of the Week on Garblag Games, and I am GMing again. Ha ha ha. I'm Nye, and I'll be GMing, and I'm going to introduce everyone right now. Ben, who are you playing, and what
Hello, I am
class are you?
playing Aggie, the Exploder magic user, who was recently speed aged by 3 years and is not happy about it.
I imagine she would be. Leon, who are you playing, and what's your playbook?
I'm playing Billy Shears, the Flake, basically the conspiracy theorist of the group, and I completely forgot Aggie's character got aged by 3 years in the last session. It's just reblown my mind again.
Yep. And Aaron, who are you playing, and what's your name?
Hey everybody, I am playing Ichabod Rust, the Wronged. His entire family, except for him and his brother Serrano, were slaughtered by Granny Longlegs, and he's out for revenge, regardless of what it takes to get there.
Yeah, it's good to have you back playing. So, where we last left, sorry, that's not sarcastic. It genuinely is good to have you back playing. Sorry,
Right.
I have what is known as resting bitch voice, so it sounds always sarcastic. So, last we left off, Aggie and Paz had been liberated from their captors, mostly by themselves. Agent Anderson and mostly Agent Anderson just dicked around and thought he was being cool. However,
cool.
it was revealed that the team would be getting kind of a test to get an application to join the agency. And we're going to kind of just kick off with that because it's the agency. They don't fuck around. So you guys are in kind of a vehicle similar to the Stanmobile, but a lot less big. It actually looks like a car a normal person would drive to work, whereas Stan's looks like someone who desperately needs to impress upon people how cool they are with their big, cool car. And you're driving out to a, let's say, not remote area, but definitely out on the wayside. You're not being driven by Agent Anderson. Agent Anderson bids you farewell at your kind of apartment area, and you're being escorted by an unnamed agent who looks like they eat girders for breakfast. The man is very big, and the little car that you guys are in is not clearly happy that he is sitting in it, but it is making do. He has made no words to you, and by saying made, I mean like literally he's not even like made noises aside from just an occasional grunt. But he is driving you out there, and all you've been told is that the test is a live one. So like if someone goes tits up, it'll go tits up. There's nobody there to catch you. And also that it's not, it's a test in a kind of roundabout way. This is something that some of the agents in training that you've met that are under Anderson's tutelage would be getting at the end of 3-4 years of education. You guys are kind of getting this now, and I'm not going to make you roll to know that it's likely the agency doesn't care whether you pass or fail, because if you fail they don't have to admit you, and if you pass then fine, whatever.
We're already doing the job for them anyway.
Exactly. Yes, it's a win-win for them. Something the agency likes to pull. Do you want to make a conversation in the car, or are you getting drifting there?
Ichabod would look over at Aggie because he wasn't there during the events of the last. He's like, Aggie, what the hell happened to you? No offense, but I mean,
I got put in a cage, magic cage, and near as I can tell, well, I've been doing a spell for 3 years, but these guys have said that it was only the weekend. So 3 days, 3 years, we're not sure. It's 3 years for me. 3 days for Billy.
Well, you look good.
Thanks.
Could have been worse. It could have been 30 years for you, right?
Yeah, kind of glad that wasn't the case. So thanks, Billy.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Clearly, the agency's thinking, because I mean, it's just the three of us. no monster lovers, no fairy lords.
I like to imagine
Yep,
Billy's
just
in the front.
us homegrown humans.
You're just in the front with the really big guy.
Yeah. Very.
Oh, sorry.
And this is just Billy being awkward, trying to think like Billy should say something, but has no idea what to say. But yeah.
You were told that the others are getting a separate test, mostly because kind of where Ichabod's coming from, but also because having like 6 people doing one test kind of skews it. They kind of want to understand who you are as people, or rather how useful you are to them, because A. Jansen obviously can't be trusted because he will just give you glowing resumes. So, okay, you
If he
drive
knows
out.
what's good for him.
Yeah, exactly. And also because he likes you guys, so he wants you to do well. You drive out for maybe another half an hour. It's not too out of your way from the apartment. As I said, the big guy makes no conversation. I will say, actually, something you do notice is that unlike Anderson or the trainees that you've met, Ichabod, maybe this won't be as relevant to you, but definitely to Aggie and
Billy.
that's what I call you, Leon. Yeah, you're not Leon. You're. Oh my god, I've forgotten your name.
Billy.
Billy. Why did I forget your name? Oh my, I'm so sorry. He is wearing a small, like a badge, you could say, not maybe a medal, but like a small thing, and it looks like a little book, just a little book. But I would say it's noteworthy because you've never seen an agent wearing a badge. But then you also think, wait a minute, we've only seen 4 agents.
Yeah.
So we don't really know much about them. But I would say this is noteworthy because, yeah, it's just not something you see Anderson wearing. So yeah, you're driven out. You stop about, I want to say, a mile away from a very small town. However, something you do note is there is a extremely extravagant mansion atop a hill that is overlooking the whole settlement. The town in question that you've just stopped nearby is very tiny. Like, it probably has 2 amenities, like a shop and a gas station, and probably only about 60 to 70 people can live here. It also looks quite old. I know we're in the States, so old is a relative term, but they're older buildings, probably made in the 1950s, and they, look like they've stood the test of time. However, you're not stopping the town, as I said. You're stopping about maybe a mile out, and there is a van that both Aggie, oh no, Billy wasn't there, so it would just be Aggie. Aggie, this is a van similar than you saw. It's an agency van, kind of the classic, like, we're not a secret agency, don't look at one of these vans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, one of those ones.
Like Anderson's
And-
trainee squad.
Yeah, well, I don't know. And, yep, you stop near that, and the big guy just kind of makes a... And the door, all the doors go blip and unlock. And he doesn't move, he just is sitting there grimly holding the steering wheel, but you're not going anywhere.
Well, it's been a pleasure, Frank. Thanks for your time. Great conversationalist. It's been real. Get out the car.
Ichabod rolls out without a word, starts scanning around. He appreciates a man of no words.
Billy awkwardly climbs out of the car, getting stuck in his coat and everything.
I was about to say, your one doesn't. It's like,
Yeah.
oh fuck. But yeah, you all get out. The back of the van opens, and a fairly, again, it's kind of hard to tell with agents because they are kind of trained to look very plain, but this agent looks very noteworthy. He is an older gentleman, probably getting upwards into his 50s, but he is rocking the kind of George Clooney agelessness, swooped back hair. There's a little bit of grey, but it's hardly noticeable. He also is wearing a little badge. His is a dagger, and as I said, he definitely is carrying a different air than others you've met because he's kind of got this "Hey, look at me" kind of attitude about him. And he says, "Ah, yes, you You are Agent Anderson's protege, I see. It's good to meet you all. He does not shake your hands.
Hello.
Yeah,
Are you-
hi.
Yes, it's good to meet you. Good to meet you.
He didn't
Ah.
say anything about you. Who are you?
Oh, my name is Benny, but it's I wouldn't hark on too much about that. Uh, I am, I guess you could say, Anderson's teacher. Taught him all the tricks and the ones that he doesn't use nowadays. And when he came to me with this proposal for you guys to be admitted into the agency, I thought, well, it's not the first, but it's not. We were hoping it would be the last, but he's a trustworthy agent, and you all sound like you could be useful for us. So there is a small exam process that I have carefully curated for you. And I hope that, well, I mean, I'm not too fussed about you succeeding, but it would be nice. It'd be a surprise. Come this way, come this way. And he gestures for you to come into the van with him.
It was me
Oh.
thinking I'd managed to skip the SATs.
When you guys are inside, again, Aggie, fairly a process you've seen. It's a surveillance van, so there's lots of cameras. What's different this time, though, is whereas the one you were in before was kind of taking readings from the external area, this one is tapped into cameras. I know it's the 90s, and people are going to be like, they didn't have that technology. It's the agency. They stole it from aliens. There we go. So that's my hand wave. It is looking at a very, I mean, I'm not going to make you roll because you can just look at monitors, but there's a lot of very prestigious looking rooms and stately, the estate, so quite a large garden. It would not take a genius to go, oh, that's the mansion. You also notice in there is a pile of costumes, well, like outfits. Some are very glamorous and stylish and very chic. Others are workmanlike with kind of more of a servile design. But they all look, like clothing. See, this is why I get paid the big GM bucks. So he gestures to the setup and goes, now, normally we would have you do some written exams, you do a bit of like a year's worth of training. You're not getting any of that. I will explain the scenario. So up there, gestures towards the mansion, there is one of the most prestigious parties that, I mean, hell, the world sees once a year. It's called the Pitt Gala. Archibald Pitt, he's a reclusive, old money. You know how it is. The Pitt family has been inundated with cash ever since, they first set foot on this land, blah, 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 all that. You know this stuff. Now, normally we don't really give a shit about these people. We may ask in our several, cover stories to get a bit of money off them, but normally we don't care. However, well, let's say a report has come through that a shapeshifter has entered the party. Now, normally this would be such an issue, but with so many noteworthy people, there's a concern in the agency that this shapeshifter might take one of their forms. And let's just say it's some politicians, it's some dignitaries, it's some billionaires. Who's to say what this shapeshifter might do with a position like that? As you can see, though, we're not too fussed about it. So, it's if you fuck this up, I mean, we'll kill you. But, don't stress too much about the details. Now,
Bilderberg party. Find shapeshifter. Extract.
pretty much, yeah. Now, we usually would expect you to come up with the elaborate cover story. However, we kind of thought that you'd fuck it up if we did. So the cover story are these. And
that's fair.
Pop this on. You should be able to get in. There's some servant stuff, maids, butlers, but there's also, we have invitations. If you want to go in as a swanky dilettante, you can do that. Whatever floats your boat, kind of looks to the three of you. The sizes for the servants' outfits are just there. There's quite a few just yeah. But oh, one more thing, and he pulls out not particularly hefty like manila folder, but it's it's got some papers in it. This is the information on the shapeshifter. So just have that, and yeah, and he'll sit down in his chair, and he has like a little, it's like a cork board like thing with not cork board, clipboard. That's the word. He has a clipboard. It's got some writing on it, but he's not letting you see that. And he's like, "Yep, just go there, and yeah, the clerk will take you up there to the to the mansion, and you'll be just right as rain. Once you're all set up and you've done your planning and all that kind of stuff, I'll just be right here listening." And he kind of turns away from you, but also it's really obvious that he can see you from his periphery really easily. And he's ready to take notes, but yeah.
Right, Aggie, Billy, what do you think?
Did he say we have to
We
kill
can't
the
all go in as
shapeshifter?
servants.
We can't all go in.
Well, if we all go in as servants, then we're going to be limited in how much we can move around.
No, I think we need to divide and conquer. Some go in as guests, maybe, and then the rest of us go in as servants. However, we want to break that up. Billy, you're the best at this research stuff. Care to give that packet of info a scan and see what we can find out about this shapeshifter?
Yeah, that's.
I mean, is it Fae? Is it some kind of otherworldly creature?
Is it one of those gross ones with the cracking and the popping and the flesh shifting thing?
So, Billy, give me an investigate a mystery.
Okay. Sorry, my dice tray is full of other dice.
Don't worry about it.
Get out of here, dice. There we go. 7 plus 3, 10.
10, perfect. So you get you get 2, and you can hold 2. Do you want me to read the questions out for you?
Yeah, I've just realized I haven't got my PDF open with the questions on.
Don't worry about it.
Where's my book?
So, what happens here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is being concealed here? And I can reread them if need be.
Okay, so yeah, so what can it do?
What
So
can it do?
yeah, I want to know how can it just look at someone and turn into them? Does it need to like have their blood or clothing or something? So yeah.
What's your second question going to be as well? Sorry, I'm just curious what the 2 are. Unless you want to wait until I tell you this one.
My
first.
second question will be, I don't want to just ask where it's going because that feels like what the game is that we're going into to find out basically what it's
Yeah,
up to. So
not
that
all the
feels-
questions are applicable. You can hold as well if you're not wanting to spend them all now.
So what is being hidden here in case Dagger,
Okay.
Benny's got some ulterior motive? Just in case there's something else in the file that I feel like he deliberately didn't tell us about.
Okay, very smart choices. Right, what can it do? So as Ichabod was kind of implying, shapeshifter is like saying, oh, there's an animal in the pantry. By that logic, it could be between a mosquito and a Sumatran tiger. And it's kind of the same thing here. Shapeshifter is a very vague term, but you're a smart guy. It's probably intentional. The file is a little bit cryptic. It's clear that agents kind of write in they're kind of their own, not code per se, but they definitely use a lot of jargon. Thankfully, though, you're A, quite smart, and B, have been around Agent Anderson when he has to do filing, so you're kind of familiar with the terms. So this is he didn't ask what sort of creature it is, so I'm not going to tell you. What you find out is it's a classical shapeshifter in the sense that once it sees someone, it can take the form of them pretty much instantaneously. It appears to be able to do this through a combination of physical manipulation, so it can manipulate its own physiology, and also a very low degree of telepathy. However, it's low. It can't read minds, but it can mimic brain patterns,
So
which
could
makes it quite difficult for, say, a psychic or someone with things. It also probably, it's how it like doesn't completely have a like breakdown as like a complete body dysmorphia, because its brain's kind of going, don't worry, this is still you, kind of thing.
So does it?
Yeah.
Does that mean that there's like the small psychic element? Is that like so it can actually know some of the things about the person? So if it transformed into a person, it would know their name and it knows what
which
they do.
is where I was going to come into. So the file says that the shapeshifter, given enough time, can perfectly imitate someone, but it can't do it instantaneously. It only picks up the basic shit, as you've correctly pointed out. Name, like if you knew obscure information about them or things that happened a long time ago, it's fucked. It can formulate that over time. The only other thing, it doesn't imply if it needs to kill the host to do this, though. That's left completely ambiguous. As for what's being concealed here, something is a bit fishy about all this. Because even though Benny was being a bit flippant, presumably this has some degree of threat to it. But this file is dry. Like, dry. Like, this is somebody doing their tax returns. Like, obviously a human wrote this and they don't really seem too interested in it. It's probably why you skimmed over what it actually is, because the person who wrote this doesn't seem interested. I will say, with your rolling, because you got a 10, you don't think this is actually that important of a case. That's what's being concealed here. This is a very trivial thing that you're being given. As to why, you don't know, but that's the thing. This is even lower importance than what he was implying. So there's your 2. I will also, just because I like your characters and I like to see them succeed, I will also let you do a read a bad situation. If someone else wants to do that, or Billy can do that again, because these are probably the best 2 times. I mean, obviously you can do them when you're in the mansion, but read a bad situation is...
Ichabod will give it a shot.
Okay, so it's on Sharp, and I can give you the questions.
I've got them up in front of me.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, so I got a 9 on the die for an 11.
Oh, wow. So you get 3 questions. So yeah.
Okay. What's the biggest threat?
What's the biggest threat? So I'll say, just because you would be talking to each other, Billy's already told you
Ichabod.
his suspicions. Yeah, exactly. And also, like, you know, I feel like Billy is smart enough to not say, oh, this is super trivial. He would also say, like, oh, it can take someone's form. I will say, I guess I should have said this as well. I guess this fits in. Because it takes human forms, it can't do much else. Like, it really is just a human shapeshifter. Maybe it's a little bit stronger, a little bit faster, but nothing beyond what a human being could do. So there we go. The biggest threat is the mansion security. You glance over at the cameras. The guards are well armed. They have submachine guns, not like brazenly waving them about, but they have them at their hall. They do have guard dogs as well, big, Dobermans and German Shepherds. And again, it's a little bit hard because they have broken into the security system. So while you can't see it, the fact that this is such an extensive security system implies that there's probably features that you are not familiar with. So your biggest threat would be the security itself and being caught.
What's most vulnerable to me?
Billy.
So, I see that's okay, because one of the other questions is what is the best way to protect the victims. I will say it's probably Billy, not because Billy is not very talented. It is because Billy, as much as I love you, Billy, can't talk his way out of a paper bag and can't fight. So if he's cornered either in a firefight or by someone who's asking really pressing questions, it might get a bit dicey. However, you need Billy in there because Billy is incredibly smart and he's probably the only one that could deal with the security. I guess I would also say Aggie, kind like your teammates would be the answer. Aggie also is perhaps a bit emotionally unstable, so it's kind of the flip side, where Aggie probably can handle a fight and probably can talk her way out of problems, but when it comes to, well, how do we solve finding the doppelganger? I just said, no, I didn't say that. You don't know what that is. No, it's
Didn't
fine.
hear a thing.
Yeah,
didn't
to be
hear a
fair,
thing.
Aggie's response to it might just be
To blow
nuke
it
the
up.
site for
Yeah,
more.
exactly, which is not great. So yeah, your teammates are probably the most vulnerable thing to you.
Then my last question will be, what's our best way in?
Okay, so the 7th thing would probably be the simplest. Again, looking at the cameras, there's very minimal security. There's one guy who probably isn't very popular because he's just standing there with a baton. He's checking them, but he's really doesn't look too interested. I will say though, because again, you've got 11, Aggie's right. Servants don't really get to do a lot of like free roaming. So you'll probably have to do the circuit and actually like pretend to do the job, which might limit what you can do. So the easiest way would be to go through the servants, but you'll be limited to what you can do. Vice versa, going in as guest is way more risky, not because you don't have credentials, they'll give you fake ones, but because you might get asked questions you don't know the answers to. However, you'll have a lot more freedom. I will say on the cameras, you all notice that it's not really like a ball where everyone's in one room. People are kind of roaming, not like a frat party or something, but it's quite obvious that guests are encouraged to experience the home in a kind of, I have all this rich, cool stuff, look at it for me. So it's definitely that kind of party. And you do see like, you know, the occasional waiter going about and giving people drinks and stuff and canapes and all that kind of things. So yeah, that would be my business. Sorry, they were a little bit drawn out answers, but I just wanted to make sure the bases were covered.
So Ichabod would relate all of that information. Like, so security, I mean, they're armed to the teeth. So if this goes sideways, we may find ourselves in a bit of trouble against human beings. And, you know, I don't like to get into that kind of trouble. So,
what if you replace one of them?
Do we have any outfits of the security people?
There's two particular outfits. So one is your schlubby guy that's outside. That definitely reads more like in-house security. They're not as well armed, but the outhouse is also the outhouse. That's not the right word. The outer security dressed a little bit more professionally. One thing I will note: no guns. So you probably will pass off to a guest, not to an actual guy. Obviously, like they would go, "Hey, I don't work with you," but also from a distance, they might go, "They're not carrying, you know, an Uzi."
But you know, you could take a gun away from one of them.
Yeah, but then we compromise ourselves as part of the entry. And then if the guard comes missing or shows up unconscious, they're going to know something's up.
True. I'm just thinking of a way that you could be armed, because
I don't need to be armed. And he holds up his hand and it starts to glow. He's like, "This is all the weapon I need anymore."
That's still freaking me out. Which it shouldn't do, because, you know, I glow.
That's actually a good question. What is everyone got as weapons? Because pistols are, to my knowledge, concealable. You can hide it on your person, unless, of course, you get frisked. But that is another bridge we can cross when we get there. I'll say this. I can't remember if the book has a specific thing for concealment. Anything. So knives are fine, even if it says big knife, because knives are quite flat. I'm fine with pistols, knuckle dusters, all that kind of stuff. Anything like, so baseball bats and shotguns, no, they're out. You will not be able to conceal them very well. I could get you to roll at the moment, act under pressure, to kind of do I guess you could say a kind of shimmy, like hide a shotgun on you and then kind of, as I said, do a kind of way, get past you, you're not kind of whatever. But that would be, you know, if you fail that, they would know you have a weapon on you. That kind of, it's a do or die kind of thing.
Ichabod has no intention of carrying any weapons in at all.
Okay,
he's going in slick sloot.
I mean, weapon-wise, I really only got a knife, and it's a ritual knife, and I don't need it.
Okay, that's fine. What about you, Billy?
Billy can't hit anything anyway, so he would take Ichabod's lead of not taking a gun in and be like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I'd get frisked or someone would see it bulging at some point."
If we're ever in a position where I have to use a knife, we've already lost.
So Ichabod pulls out his 2 9mm, his assault rifle, his enchanted dagger. He puts them all out. He's like, "I'm good."
Benny's fine with that. He kind of nods. You get the impression that was perhaps a move that he was hoping you would take, but you don't know. He scribbled something down. Okay, so outfit wise, what are people taking? Because you will need one. Like Benny is making it clear what you're dressed as will not fly.
Yeah, I'm
because
pretty sure Billy's a bit too dishevelled to be let into fine society.
Yeah. Well, it's not just disheveled. Like, you're not dressed fancy, but you're also not dressed in a uniform. So it's clear you're neither. And gate crashing would not be unremarkable in a party like this. So, or gala, I should say. That's a fancy party.
Um,
I'm going to go fancy.
I think guests is probably the easiest way to get around once we're in.
With my luck, I'll go as internal security.
Okay. So in the case of Billy and Aggie, you do find outfits. I'll let you guys describe them because you probably have a better understanding of what looks nice on your characters' bodies. I will say it's a little unnerving that they have your sizes. Ichabod, you notice that as well with your uniform. It's like, this fits just right. Not going to question that at all. So while you guys think of what you've picked out, because they have quite a, like, it's not a wardrobe, but also it's pretty varied. Like, there's quite, it's a fair amount. Ichabod, you are dressed, I'm trying to think of the best way to describe this. It does look nice what you're wearing, but it's obvious this is someone who is meant to manhandle people if need be. So you're wearing, like, it's a suit, but it's got a lot more room in the joints, and it's also quite clear that it's quite roomy. So it's obvious that you're meant to huck people out. You're kind of like a bouncer or something.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I've got a couple of suits cut just like that in my closet.
Exactly. Yeah. No, they have their function. It's also kind of what Anderson wears, although Anderson and the agents definitely wear a much more like business suit. Like, it's meant to blend in on a commercial area, whereas it's nicer. It's cut a little bit finer. Yes. So Billy and Aggie, what would you think your characters would be wearing? I feel bad just dictating it to you because they're your characters.
So I think Billy will have, it's going to be a tux, but it's going to be, basically it's going to be a couple years old, so it's out of style. But it's going to be something older people would wear, so it's not, just doesn't quite look right on Billy. And maybe it's one of those ones that's kind of coloured, so it's like a sort of velvety, like burgundy one. So it's
I love it. I like the idea that Billy's going past, like, the further he goes along, like the little, like, whatever was it a dolly that they put clothing on? Like, it's one of those kind of things. Like, he's going past them and he gets to like older clothing. He's like, yes, this, I like it.
I think that's the only thing that fitted. Like, there was a really slick looking nice one, but it's like, that's not in Billy's size at all. Whereas
it is though. That's the uncomfortable thing. All of the clothing that, presumably you would like to wear fits you. It's quite uncanny. Yeah.
So then
and I'll say if you look at like some of the servants, like, outfits, it's like, oh, that fits me. Like, you can kind of, like, when you compare it, it's a bit unnerving. That it's quite well done. So
I describe it as an ugly tux is what most people would probably describe.
No, I love it. It feels very Billy and I like it. Aggie, what about you?
I'm going to dress up as Billy's mail order bride.
Okay, I mean, that is a look.
So
I'm terrified to ask what that looks like, but
I'm going for big heels so that I'm taller than him. Long, slinky silver dress, probably backless, and a blonde wig to go over the top of my actual hair.
They do have wigs of various colors. Again, it's a little bit, I will say it's not limitless. Like, at a certain point you go, okay, they just only have like 4 colors or whatever. But yeah, you find that okay.
But also I will bring out the accent a little bit more like my grandmother used to use.
Okay, perfect. All right, then.
Because Aggie is from Polish family, so she can sound Eastern European without too much difficulty.
Okay. Very good. Is anyone wanting to do anything else before you get back in the car and actually go up there?
Yeah.
Talk about any plans?
What names are we using? And I'm guessing, and Ichabod, we're not going with you. So, or are you? You're not our security. You're their security. So you're going to be going in first, or are we going in first?
You'll be driven up together. How you split up is up to you guys, but it's not, they're not they are dicks. The agency is not stupid though. It's not going to drive right up to the front gates and then go right out you come, because it's not a nice car you're coming in, but it's
only we had a Maserati.
That was an ugly Maserati from the 80s.
I say we get up, we split when we get to the gate. I'll go around the back of the house doing a external security sweep. I mean, I'm security after all, and I'll make my way in through the back.
Okay. Have we got radio contact with each other? Some sort of earpieces?
You would have earpieces. I've kind of just defaulted with Anderson that he has means of contacting you again, whatever the technology the agency has. So I would say that you would have that.
Okay.
Because little side note, in universe they always just assume you have mobiles. Obviously it's a bit different because we're in the 90s, but like stuff that is necessary for the game to function is fine. So yeah, you do have earpieces.
Can
and
I
would
cast a spell before we go in?
It depends on what the spell is and what you're wanting it to do and how well it goes.
I wish to do something that sits kind of between bar a place or portal to a specific person or type of creature and trap a specific person, minion, or monster. I want to make us uncopyable. I want to make it so that we can't be replicated.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, that kind of fits in the three of the.
Oh, look, if
How
this spell
use
fails,
magic
all three of
effects,
us will
doesn't
just
it?
look the same.
So I would say, because in the same way that act under pressure is the thing, I'll let you do this, but it'll be on do one thing that is beyond human limitations, because making yourself uncopyable is beyond human limitations.
Yeah, that's fair.
I will say no. Yeah, I'll let you pick your glitch. So yeah, roll if you get it, and then.
Suggesting I'm going to get a glitch. How dare you?
Well, it happens.
So I'm doing use magic. It's roll on weird.
Yep.
I've got +1 to my existing +2. So I've got +3 weird.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
12.
Wow.
Perfect. So the keeper will offer you some added benefit. Okay. So it goes off at a hitch. The three of you don't Aggie does. Well, describe what Aggie does then, actually.
And she'll just sort of float up into the air a little bit and then like inscribe little glyphs on everybody's forehead that sort of sparkle for a little bit and then disappear. Maybe I'll make it so that the three of us can still see them.
Okay. Yeah. No, I like that as an added benefit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that works perfectly then. So yeah, you are now immune to the being's effects if it wishes to copy you. If anyone else wants to do anything, then do say, but otherwise you'll jump in the car with the clerk.
That should mean that we can't be copied and we can see who each other is from the little
No,
mark
I
on the
follow.
face. Yeah, I'm just telling that. Sorry, that
Oh,
was an
sorry.
in character telling the guy.
Oh.
It's
Sorry.
my bad.
No, that's my fault. I didn't pick up on that.
Thanks, Aggie. I love it when my forehead sparkles.
Don't worry, nobody else can see it. But on the upside, you also can't be copied by a shapeshifter and then used to make us expose ourselves.
Good plan. All right,
At least
let's
you know
move
there's
out.
3 people that can be trusted in the building.
Yeah, with Paz and Leopold not here, that's true.
Okie dokie. So
Oh,
you
Leopold would be
exit.
so upset at missing a party.
Oh, don't worry. They've got their own thing. So you exit the van. Benny gives you a little farewell, but it's kind of half-hearted. And you get back in the car with your clerk friend. You drive up. He is again stony and silent and doesn't really seem interested in interacting with you.
Do you like my tux?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying something.
I was saying something to the driver.
Oh, what did you say? Sorry. I didn't
Do you
hear
like my tux? But he's just quiet.
He just nods and then turns back. It's one slow one as well, like, but yes. Now this is the thing. So he drops all of you off at the bottom of the hill. So you've gone through the small town. I will also note the village, if you will, is pretty much like there's a couple of lights on, but it's kind of clear people are either just are not really up for anything tonight, but then it's a very small town. It's likely that nobody really does anything in the evening. So it's quite dark going through, but like the mansion is lit up. It's a beacon. It's practically light in the bottom of the hill as is, but he drops you off. Now, there's not a lot of coming and going here, but you do see that there are a couple of cars going by, and they are limousines, quite nice. So it's clear that people are still coming in and out. So, sorry, I should say. It's not too late. It's probably only like 9 o'clock. So this is like everyone getting ready time, not at all anything else. There's not any music or anything. It's not really that kind of party, but yeah. So I'll say that you want to head up. Ichabod, can you give me an act under pressure roll? Because you're going to now have to seamlessly get into this party. Well, into the securities.
I got a total of an 8.
Okay. I'm going to save a hard choice for later. So to your knowledge, you have infiltrated fairly well. You didn't run into anybody. The main concentration of the armed guards is at the places where people are coming in. And there's a couple patrolling, but they're not too tricky to avoid. Bearing in mind, these guys are probably not being paid to catch random people. It's more for bigger concerns because there's lots of very wealthy and famous people here. So people might have untoward ideas about them. You get in and you can start patrolling. What were you wanting to do specifically when you got infiltrated?
So Ichabod would start kind of just a random patrol, but through the upper floors of the house, trying to look. Okay. He's scanning to see if not only are there any people out of place, because he knows the whole house is open but he's looking to see if there might be something in the house that the shapeshifter would be targeting for theft or something of that nature, trying to determine why the shapeshifter is here as opposed to just what it is.
Okay. Right. I will hold off on you for the moment. We'll do Aggie and Billy getting in. So the pair of you have walked up. I'm not going to make a roll because I don't really think there's a way that you can play off that, like, you can't pretend you've just got a limousine.
Well.
Oh, okay.
So Billy had an idea of that. So it depends how visible we are as we get up to the driveway, because I'm guessing it's one of those where the cars drive in and then drive up to the house.
It's the walk up the hill is lit, but it's not like huge lights. So you could probably conceal yourself.
Billy saw this in a film, and by what I mean is Leon saw this in a film, but he can't remember which one, and it may have been a cartoon.
It's totally fine.
When the limousine pulls up, so wait for a limo to pull up.
Okay.
It pulls up here. The house is here. We get on the other side of the limo and we climb through the side doors opposite the house. So as the people are getting out, and then we just carry on through the car, and it looks like we're getting out of the limousine.
Okay. You're both going to have to roll act under pressure for that, but I want to see this succeed.
So that's Billy's plan that he's into Aggie is how we're going to make it look like.
Do you tell Aggie that?
Yes, this is Aggie. This is the plan.
That's a good plan. I like it.
Okay, both of you roll.
There's no way it could possibly fail.
Yeah, roll act under pressure, please.
That's genius.
Yeah. Plus cool.
5.
5, okay. What did you roll, Aggie?
12.
12. Okay. Whew.
Sorry, I have to keep counting it because I have this one dice, right?
Don't worry about it.
It's got markings on it like that, and that's a 6.
Okay.
But it's a bit confusing to my brain.
Here is what will happen. So, the pair of you look at some limousines pulling in, and you see one that's quite extravagant. It's a quite long and beautiful, like, I don't know how you can describe, like, I was supposed to call it burgundy, but I feel like a burgundy limousine is ugly. But you know what? I'm sticking with it because that's the first thought that came to mind. Always the best thought. It's somehow beautiful. It actually looks a little bit like your tux, Billy. That's probably why you're so enamored with it. Mm-hmm. And you're all ready to go in. Billy, you're on the wrong side. It looks like you're opening the door for the people coming out. Aggie, you're on the perfect side. A bit too perfect, in fact, because there's a gentleman offering you his hand. He is quite tall, long, blonde hair. The woman he's with is not happy. She actually looks quite unhappy about this development. However, he's kind of ignoring her and he's kind of looking at you, I'll say longingly.
Well, thank you, darling.
Yeah.
And I shall take his hand.
But of course, yes. A gentleman must always. Oh, thank you, good sir. So yeah, Billy, you're quite obviously not.
Billy will then offer his hand to the woman that's in the car, the angry woman with the man. Be like,
Give me a manipulation
"M'lady."
roll with a -1.
9.
Really? With the -1 on top?
I got 10 -1.
Oh,
My
okay,
charm
right.
is 0. So
Okay. She'll take it. I think this is maybe a little bit unfair, but I think she looks at you, then looks back at the
it's
the
like
man
out
she
of
was with
spite.
and goes, yeah, it's a bit spiteful. Yeah, but you know what? She'll take it. So the two of you are walking hand in hand, well, arm in arm. Do you accept his arm, Aggie? Because he is offering it.
And as my little something extra, I'm going to pick up a glass of champagne as we go through the limo.
Yeah, no, this is a man with champagne, believe me. Yes, no, I haven't seen you around here. Who might you be, my dear?
This is my first time at a party like this one. We do not have the same kind of things in Europe.
Ah, well, that's quite interesting because I'm from Europe myself.
My name is
yes.
Agnieszka.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Agnieszka. I am Prince. Oh God, I was about to come Archibald, but there's already an Archibald. God damn it, names in the spot. Yes, no, I am Prince Randy. Shut up. He's Prince Randy.
Oh, Your Highness, it is a great pleasure. Thank you so much.
I consider myself a common prince, a man of the people, if you will. He throws his keys to a chauffeur. Doesn't even look at him. Yes, but come this way. I think this party is going to become much, much more interesting with you on my arm, dear. Billy, the woman who's you're holding the arm with, is looking angrier and angrier as the night as you walk up. She's not even talking to you. She's just staring daggers at her.
So it's your first time here?
No.
Good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Looks like he's having fun. She's slightly gritting her teeth.
That's my wife.
Actually, that probably will perk her to. Oh, really?
I must have money.
Well, you know, it's not even like cynical. It's actually kind of sympathetic because that's your wife. Oh, well, I'm sorry. That's my fiance. He's a bit of a bastard. Yeah. I'm sorry. He has. Do you want to go get her? Like,
No, this is fine. You are lovely. Obviously, you probably knew that.
Thank you. That's very nice of you. Yeah, she's a bit weird. That's your wife. You just let another. No.
My name is not Billy.
What was the guy that you introduced yourself as in the casino?
Oh, that's that's Billy's alternate identity. That's Mark Chapman.
The tech billionaire.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. In which case, good thinking, Aggie. I'm Mark Chapman. I'll rely on my fake ID.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Chaplin. Chapman, not Chaplin. Chapman.
Close enough.
I am the Duchess of Chesterbury.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever met a Duchess before.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm glad I'm your first, I guess. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The four of you walk in. You've actually have somewhat successfully helped yourself out because they're not IDing the pair of you. They're IDing the very important people that you're hanging off of. And the four of you make your way into the party. We will jump back over to Ichabod. So Ichabod, okay, I will make you a deal. You can roll investigate a mystery, and then you can just hope that you get enough to ask the specific question you want, or I will let you roll act under pressure again. However, it's going to be a bit more vague because it's more like what you're acting out is trying to search around for clues kind of thing. So I can't guarantee necessarily you might get the answer you're looking for. Whereas Investigate Mystery, it's like, yeah, there is one that literally is what is it going to do? So
Mhm.
it's up to you, whichever you prefer.
I'll try for Investigate a Mystery.
Okay.
Sharps +2, and I did not get it with a
Okay.
5 in total.
That is totally fine. A mark experience. Oh, Billy, did you mark experience for
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. So you're kind of wandering about. You don't really know what this creature is. You can't really pin out what its intentions are. And also because it's just presumably taking the form of a human, it doesn't even have like tracks or anything. This is not great for you.
Yeah. Second floor. I'm not tracking anything. I can't figure out what this thing's end goal is here. Let me know if you guys discover anything in and around the party. I'm gonna continue my patrol as a security guard.
It is as you're just radioing into them, though, that two people exit a room. One of them is I don't want to be rude. This is nice saying this, but he's not the most handsome looking man. Definitely perhaps doesn't take the greatest care of himself, and the very nice suit that he's wearing is a little bit disheveled. And it's not great. The person on his arm, however, is quite beautiful if you're into those dimensions. I don't know. I guess that's a way of describing beauty. I do have a question, though, Ichabod, about your favored enemy.
Mhm.
Can you sense your favored enemy in any capacity, or do you not have that ability?
I can sense my favorite enemy.
She is reading hard demon, like hard demon. Like she's basically oozing this kind of stuff. Not literally, but to you she is.
Yeah,
and
she's
she
using
is-
it literally. Then can you collect some? Because I could use
Yeah,
that.
that yeah. Well, the gentleman she's with has quite a few like lipstick marks on him, so it's presumably been doing something, whatever adults do in rooms alone together. But yeah, they're just kind of they're walking the other direction from you, so their backs are to you. But yeah, hard demon.
He's gonna follow along discreetly, trying to
Okay.
figure out whether or not he can slay this demon and still get the job done. And he does mention over the comms, he's like, "We have a demon on the premises."
Okay. I will say for the pair of you, while you are hearing this and your like party goers aren't, like it's gonna be really obvious if you immediately do this and start talking. So, but I imagine you guys will have talked that over since you guys were coming in as guests.
Billy's going to forget that Ichabod can't see him and just going to nod.
Ichabod, can you give me one more act under pressure roll to not be seen?
Sure. 9, 11 in total.
Yeah, you are blending in. I'll even say because in 11 that's a 12, you get something extra. Okay. Yeah, no, I'll just leave it at that. You're able to follow them. They're not really going anywhere, and they're not saying anything particularly scandalous. They're just having polite conversation.
Mhm.
I will say you don't get. They're not like married or like it's clearly these two people have met at the party kind of thing, and they're just having a wee wander about. Yeah, I'll cut back. I like cutting over cross cuts. Apologies if that's annoying. To Billy. So you have kind of, unless, actually I'll open this to you. Do you want to try and stay with Aggie in some capacity? Because I will say, the woman you're with, not wanting to be near her fiance right now. Like, really doesn't want to be near him. So if you're staying
Billy's
on her
instinct
arm...
would be to split away from Aggie, so we'll cover more ground that way.
Perfect. So she's heading over to other people, whereas the prince is not doing that. Aggie, he is going somewhere secluded. So that has it. Well, that's not true. They're both like making small talk with people, but in her case, she's like kind of beelining to a larger crowded area, whereas he's kind of going off somewhere. Yeah. How do you interact with the people she's talking to? They're not saying anything particularly noteworthy. They're just kind of going, oh, it's good to see you here. How are the 8 estates? That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Rich people conversation. Nobody directly engages with you either. Some people raise an eyebrow, but nothing. It's not too scandalous yet. Yeah.
Yeah, Billy's thinking Billy thoughts on how to catch a shapeshifter. So,
Okay.
how many people were in a group of like just a few people gathered around?
So when you were coming in, there was probably about 20 people in like the big grand opening area. For context, just to give everyone a kind of geography thing, where Ichabod came in, you did pass through like the kitchens and a lot of the other places where the servants are preparing things. There's probably about 50 servants here, not all in that one room. Like if you had to do a quick, like rough estimate. For you, Billy, the room you've just come in, which is the grand opening, about, let's say 20, 25 guests. The room she's gone into, which is like a kind of, I don't want to call it like a hall because that maybe is making it a bit bigger than what it is, but it's clearly a large area where guests are held. It's probably about 100 to 150 guests here. And she's kind of moving between the small talking circles. There doesn't appear to be any big group. And I will say, because you've been around rich people enough times with the adventures you've been on, you're kind of sensing the through lines here. There's the old money, the new money, the people who have clearly business ties to each other, the people who have, blood ties. Oh, excuse me, dear me. But yeah, and I will note that the Duchess is like moving between pretty much all these types of groups quite seamlessly. She is quite a social butterfly herself. Is there anything you want to ask specifically? Because I'll have to get you to roll otherwise.
So, yeah, there's two things Billy's thinking about. Billy wants to look around to see if there's anything, because we still kind of work out why this shapeshifter's here. So Billy wants to look around in the rooms that he's going through to see, well, is there anything that looks like it's something that's stealable, that's on the paranormal level, that something monstrous might be interested in? Like, why is it here? And the other thing he might start asking is, he's just asking people if they've seen a set of identical twins at the party, because he's working on a new technology and could do with some twins for it. And that's as vague as he's going to be.
Okay.
Before he bails out and realizes he can't lie that well.
No, that's fine. There are 3 choices you can make. So you can use magic. I'm going to tell you that's going to be at -1 if you're trying to not draw attention to yourself.
I'm not using magic.
To kind of sense if there is anything supernatural here, right? I could also let you do manipulate someone to ask your identical twins question. Or you can roll investigate mystery and then just have one of the questions.
Investigate mystery.
That seems like a good call. Yeah.
8 + 3 is 11.
11. So you get 2 questions. Oh, just a reminder, Ichabod, you can get a +1 if you act on the questions that are relevant. I think the only one would be, I guess if you come up against the security, you can get a +1 because you worked out what the biggest threat was. So that's still relevant. You already act on the best way, then that's fine. So, yeah.
Okay, so I guess just for the area I'm in, is like, what happened here? Like, is there anything?
Okay.
I guess that seems the closest one.
This looks like the gathering point. So you guys probably came like maybe a little bit late for like some kind of big, like, not meeting, what's the word? A speech, probably. Archibald Pitt the 12th came and gave like a rousing speech. That's probably why there's still a lot of people here. You imagine as the night goes on, it'll disperse into the large confines of the house. But right now everyone's talking. And from the business conversations you're hearing, it's also likely this is the business side of business and pleasure. This is the part that everyone gets out the way now, so when they get pished, they don't have to worry about shorting $8 billion for a Big Mac or something. Like, it's just, yeah, they're getting all the boring, well, I put quotations, it is boring stuff. They're talking about stocks, for Pete's sake. So, yeah, that's probably what's happened here then. There's been kind of a big thing that you guys have missed, and you're coming a little bit late.
And then, is anything being concealed here? So what is being concealed here, if anything?
The guests are not the interesting part. It's the wait staff. There's something off about them. I don't really know how best to frame this. It's clear that they're on edge, unnaturally so. Like, not, oh God, I'm doing this to get through college. It's like when you take a canapé from one of them kind of doesn't so much flinch, but kind of does that kind of like, yep, no, they are, sir. Yep. And like there's a waitress that kind of, is not making eye contact. And again, not in that kind of, because I don't give a fuck about you, in that kind of, don't look at me, I am small and I don't matter kind of way. So they're not trying to conceal. That's what it is. You've discovered they were concealing their genuine uncomfortableness at being at this party and working here. That's what they were trying to conceal. And for a lot of these rich fuckers, they cannot see that. These are just how normal human beings that are poor act around them. But this is strange, even for a rich person party.
That's odd. Yeah, I can't really mic up talking without looking a bit weird.
Yeah. I will say you're still on the Duchess's arm.
Oh, I'm still on the... Oh, wow, she's stuck with me. I thought she could do...
The spite is hanging on. I will say it's probably the hard part of your move is that she's going to be a little bit...
Oh, shame.
It'll be noticeable if you leave now,
okay.
Was the thing. Because when you get a 7 to 9 on manipulate someone, they'll do it if you prove to them now. So that was kind of the thing. You're on her arm now. Like... if you want to leave, she's going to be like, whoa, why did you ask if you were only going to stay for 5 minutes kind of thing. That kind of stuff.
Okay.
Aggie, the prince, he's not taking you like to a dark place, but he is kind of, obviously, Ichabod is really driving. It's kind of the same thing. He's not gone into a room yet. He's kind of just wandering. He's talking a lot about very meaningless bullshit. I don't care how much people like rich people. Like, this is very bland. And he's not really talking with you. He's talking at you. It's quite obvious that that's what is going on here. He keeps going on about polo for some reason. He's really fixated with that. It does it, I'll say, because you are a woman, it's not reading like Danger Zone yet, but it's also reading,
Possession. He's being, he's treating me like a thing, not a person.
Yeah, not a person, yeah. He's being a cunt, but it's not gotten into a red flag zone area yet. I will say he's probably only a year older than your current form. Like, obviously, if you were your original age, he'd be a little bit older than you, but he's probably only like 22. And so, by the way, is the Duchess herself. They're both quite young, hence why I was saying the Duchess is able to move through the social circles quite deftly. But yeah, you're wandering aimlessly, it seems. He just seems to like having someone pretty on his arm. You can try and engage in conversation with him if you want.
No, I'm just going to let him keep doing his thing, and I am going to look around and see what I can see as well.
Okay, what do you want to roll?
Scan the area. I'm not going to magic up straight away. I would like to investigate a mystery and again, scan the sort of rich people areas.
Okay, yeah.
Because I don't know. I think Ichabod said he'd done the second floor, but he hasn't done the ground floor, and that's where we are. So I'll use this meandering circuit of drivel bullshit.
Oh boy, I might fuck this up. So in America, they call the first floor what we call the ground floor, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So there are 3 floors. There's the ground floor, there's the first floor, and there's the second floor. But
in America,
where Ichabod is the second floor. So there you go. There's a bit above. Nobody's gone up there yet, to your knowledge. When you were at the cameras, that was completely empty. That looks like where the Pitt family lays, like their bedrooms and things like that. So probably people aren't allowed up there, whereas the first floor, second floor, whatever, is like, it's full of bullshit rooms. There's one that's like kind of decked up like a museum. There's one that's clearly a place where people play music. There's guest rooms. It's it's huge. This mansion is huge. So there's a bit of everything here. It's very much a show and be impressed kind of thing. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, roll investigate a mystery, please.
5, 6, 7, 8.
8. So you get one question. Do you need me to read them or do you have the
No, I've
doodads?
got them just here.
Perfect.
Where did it go?
So, okay. So you're kind of thinking about this. I mean, your first thought would be, well, it's the demon that Aaron's found. There we go. We found it. Demons take people's shapes. But then something kind of weird happens because as you're kind of going about, you're thinking to yourself, well, if we're here for a demon, why didn't they just say
demon.
that? Why didn't they say demon? This feels weird. Like this feels really weird.
Yeah, because if
And-
you tell Ichabod there's a demon, you don't even need to ask him twice. He'd just be on board.
Also, it's a situation where, again, remembering back with Leon's good role, or sorry, Billy's good role, it was a very banal folder. Demon is not banal. Demon is serious. Demons are a big deal. They are not meant to be here. So
I see it interesting, yeah.
exactly, that's a whole different thing going on there. And you realize that if you were somebody that was shapeshifting, you would need a place where you could dispose of the person you're shapeshifting, whether or not to kill or to hide.
Keep out of the way, yeah.
Exactly. So you're in the right place. They are probably prowling, if that's the word you want to use, one of the lonesome corridors right now. And I will say, no, I won't say that. So yeah, the lonesome corridors. That is the place to be right now. It will be somewhere here. Is there anything else you would like to do?
Well, while he's content to wander the lonesome corridors, that's also where I want to be. So
Okay.
he's providing cover.
Yep.
So I
that's
shall giggle at appropriate points in the conversation.
he tells a really dry joke about how one of his friends from university mixed up a type of polo ball with a polo like the stick thing.
Mallet.
I don't know, the mallet, yeah, and he called it a hammer, and that was he was the talk of the town. They were just making fun of him all evening. Ho ho ho. So yes, it's very dry.
Oh yes,
He's
huge
dry.
giggles. He's so much
Yes.
fun to be around.
Exactly. He's very.
I'm
happy
seriously
that you-
considering just putting this guy to sleep and sticking him in a box myself.
So, Ichabod, you've been following them for a time. The demon isn't doing anything demonic yet or at all. She's just on his arm,
She's off
kind
the
of
clock.
basically doing thing. I will also say, I would say Ichabod has a decent understanding how demons work. I'm happy to let you roll investigate a mystery, unless you have a particular move set that helps you identify your, because she is a specific type of demon.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't know the specific type. He would just know that she was
Okay.
demonic. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you want to do? You are still able to follow them totally fine. Neither of them are aware. But if you want to do anything else, you will have to
right.
tell me because yeah.
So actually, Ichabod, he sub-vocalizes. He's like, I might be moving off book here. Stand by. And he walks up to the woman and taps
Okay.
her on the shoulder.
She turns to you. She does that kind of thing that people do when they see someone they don't like, and it very quickly goes from a grimace to a like back to smiley, friendly. She's like, "Oh, hi there. Is there something wrong?" The gentleman is now also turning over, and he's kind of doing that like really annoying guy
Yeah.
thing where he's like,
Par-
"Yeah."
Pardon me, sir. Pardon me, miss. I'm with security, and there seems to have been some concern. Ma'am, may I speak with you for a moment, please?
The man kind of tries to speak for a minute. He's like, I don't think this is appropriate. And then she goes, no, it's fine, Reginald, it's fine. I'm sure this lovely young man would be absolutely fine to speak to. Yes, follow you. Where do you need to speak to me?
Oh, just over here for just a moment, please.
Okay. The man looks a bit peeved at this, but she follows you over. Where do you mean over here? Do you mean like literally
Just down the corridor a little bit?
Okay, so
just some space so he can't overhear what we're
he
saying.
can still see you both.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's not.
fine.
Yeah, no, I'm not taking her anyplace.
No, that's fine. It's fine. Just okay. So yes, you're now out of earshot.
All right, demon. What the hell is going on here? And explain to me why I don't smite you while we stand here.
I don't know what you're talking about, Rust. Nothing at all is going on here. I'm just doing what I do.
Right. Well, I'm here for other reasons, but I'd rather send a demon back to hell. So we can do this one of two ways. You can leave this party and I can get back to work, and then I'll find you later. Or we can throw down right now.
While it would be nice to sharpen my claws on your flesh, I feel like there's a potential business transaction going on here. Are you looking for the many-shaped one?
You know, that's exactly what I'm looking for.
Oh, okay. I do like a deal. As you know, we do like a deal. Now, I've only seen them once. Perhaps I could tell their from. No, that would be too easy. I will say this, darling. I don't know anything about why they're here, but I do know where to look for them. Perhaps if you owe me a favor, I can point you in the right direction. Perhaps.
You know, owing demons favors isn't exactly how I like to conduct my business. How about we settle it like this? You tell me where to look for this shapeshifter, and I promise not to hunt you down. And the only time we ever have to speak again is if you make the mistake of being standing in front of me one more time.
She pouts. It's kind of difficult. So again, for those who are perhaps new to this, humans cannot tell monsters to do anything. Monsters are like, unless you have a specific trait that lets you manipulate them. I will say, however, this is a nice party, and you do get the impression she isn't that interested in fighting you. So she taps her lips. How about this, darling? I'll leave, of course. I'll leave. I don't really want to mess up my makeup tonight. However, I can't go with a deal. How about this? I'll tell you where they are. And I won't tell your dear, sweet grandmama what's going on. How does that sound? If you offer, and she's waving her hand, the deal. I'll tell you where they are, and sweet grandmama won't know, but you owe me a favor.
All right. What's your name?
Oh.
Or what do you want me to call you? I just can't say
just
demon bitch.
Yes. Well, yes, no, that would be quite awkward on the paperwork. Just call me M. Just M will be fine. Yeah.
All right, M. I owe you a favor.
You do, darling. You do. So
do your best to collect it before I find Granny.
Oh, I always collect my favors. Now, as to where you can find the little multi-shaped one, they appear to be hiding out in the servants' quarters. Now, I don't know why, because honestly, if you're gonna take from the humans, you better take from the best. But that appears to be where they're hiding out. So, toodle pip. And she walks off. She takes the person she's with hand. He seems a bit frustrated with this, and there's a little bit of an exchange. He pouts. He stomps his feet impotently and walks off. And she shrugs and makes her way. And she does pass you on the way up, but she is going. She gives you a wink, but that's about it. And she leaves.
He feels a little sick to his stomach, but he's like, all right, they're the shapeshifters in the servants' quarters.
Okay.
Demon is leaving the site.
You both have heard this. Billy, you've heard this information.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do?
Oh, I'm still on the arm of the Duchess, right? So, we're at the servants' quarters, are first floor, ground floor.
They're on the ground floor.
Amazing.
So, like a lot of old buildings, you're seeing doors where they're coming out because you're actually looking for them. Because this is the whole thing. Servants are supposed to be seen, not heard, and blah blah blah, all that bullshit. So yeah, that but it's quite obvious they're coming out a service door. Presumably, if you go through there, you'll find the intricacy of where things are prepared. The servants don't. Quarters is perhaps a strong word. Nobody would live here. Like, it's apart from like a butler and some maids, but these are people brought on. So there's probably like a staff room is what I should have said. But there's a place in the house which was once where more servants lived and slept and things like that. So yeah, you just need to break off with the Duchess and you can get there.
Okay. Is there a servant coming near me with a tray of drinks or canapes at all?
Yeah, we'll say that. Yeah.
Okay.
Not too unrealistic.
Billy will haphazardly pretend to get a drink and then just knock the tray up to spill over. I don't know if I want it over myself or the waitstaff.
Give me an act under pressure.
Okay.
Because you're trying to
like
presumably do this like it's an accident.
Yeah.
Not I'm intention. Boof. Unless you want to.
Does act under pressure is cool, isn't it?
It's cool. Yep.
9 in total.
Okay. So you do it. That's not hard. You're knocking a tray out of someone's hands. You misjudge just a little bit. And instead of going away from your date, right into her, all of those caviar canapé, just all of them. Like, not a single one missed her. Missed all of you, though. The waitress pales visibly. She looks horrified. The Duchess goes a very, very fascinating color of purple. And she turns to you silently.
So, Billy has met high society before when he's done all these piano recitals when he was younger, and he's going to remember a particular person who's incredibly arrogant, and he's going to try and channel that person now. So Billy's going to shout at the waiter, like the waiter's done it, go, "You clumsy oaf!" That's so American, wasn't it?
No. Okay.
Look what you've done. It's like, we're going to go back and get some towels to help clean up the Duchess. She's very important. I'm going to grab the waiter by the collar and try to start marching him towards the staff area. And I'm going to talk to your manager.
Okay. I think the Duchess would probably relent that. I will say people are a little bit like a rich person talking down to a member of staff, not unusual. That person then accompanying the member of staff to where the staff works is a little bit strange, but I'm not gonna have to make you roll anything because you're clearly just a very assertive person, I guess. The Duchess does let you go. She is fuming. Like she probably actually does have some very, very venomous words to say to the member of staff before they go. Okay. I'm not going to say them because I don't want to say bad words just to make someone feel bad, even if that person is fictitious and me. But there we go. So yeah, you're able to get there. I will say that the staff member, while still being horrified, is slightly resisting when you're trying to get into the staff area. Not in like a you can't go here and like no sir, it's really not necessary. You really don't have to go in there. It's fine. It's fine. You don't have to go in there.
No, we're going in. You're going to sort this out. What kind of operation are you running here?
Okay, well you battle in. You're in the staff place. There are people working, like a lot of people busily trying to get things prepared, get places in. I will note as well, it's kind of obvious that they're also preempting stuff. So you see that they've got cleaning supplies out, there's towels, there's bed sheets. Like there's a lot here ready for people, probably causing a nuisance. Nobody really stops, but a lot of people are looking at you, even with your slightly older suit.
Yeah.
Kind of obvious that you're not meant to be here.
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
What are they
Just
going to do
kind of-
about it?
Okay. Nothing.
Is
Nobody
the energy?
challenges you.
Is the energy Billy's going to try and channel? So, but it's busy. So we know we're kind of looking for somewhere quiet, where like a body might be being stashed. So I'm out here in this area. You shake away that weight stuff. I go get cloths to clean up the Duchess.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right, man. And they kind of scurry off, and they go to do that job. You're now just kind of standing there. I think we'll switch over to Aggie. So Aggie, you have this information. The prince is just still going. Give me an act under pressure roll.
Oh dear, it's cool.
It's
I'm
cool.
not.
You'll
So
be
I rolled
fine.
6, but I have -1 cool, so that's a 5.
Another couple approaches you. They are very, very, very well dressed, though they are dressed old. And not like old, like we're an older couple. They're probably only about Ichabod's age. Like, they're dressed Victorian, like old. And they kind of stop you. The prince kind of is shaken out of his stupor of talking about polo, and the woman says to you, "Oh, mademoiselle, I did not see you at this party, and I apologize to everyone that speaks remotely any French. I'm going to butcher this. I do apologize. It is so good to see you." And she takes your hand to take it. You have never met this woman in your life.
Sweet charmed, thank you.
Is this a friend of yours? Yes. Oh, yes. Long time family friend. Yes. The women shall have a conversation. Yes, and she's taking you away. Her presumed partner is standing there talking to the prince. Again, it's kind of inane, but he has that kind of charm that Benny does, where it's like, yeah, you look a bit boring, but you also look like you actually can have a conversation. So yeah, he's having but it's clear that he's distracting the prince rather than like actually genuinely thinking. This woman's taking you into a room.
Thank you very much, lady. He was quite distracting.
Oh, yes. I can imagine, my dear. I can imagine. It's been so long since I've met a master of the arts such as yourself. Yes.
I have been known to paint a little.
Oh, dear. And she kind of gently pats your hand. There's a current that runs through her. And you've only ever felt power at this magnitude when you were doing your spell a couple days ago, a week or two ago. And she's doing this, tapping your hand. Oh, I'm sure you're a very good painter. I've
Clearly we're on the
given
same
up
page then. Okay,
I've completely
what's the
given
deal?
up the French accent. I do
Ma'am?
apologize. I'm
I'm going to drop the
posh.
Polish accent.
Yeah, fuck it. There we go. She was going to be French. I gave up. I apologize. It's probably for the best. Well, let's say that I've been painting for a very, very long time. And
So the aesthetic that you're wearing isn't just an aesthetic.
oh, darling.
It is a gorgeous aesthetic, by the way. The bustle really sets off your figure and the tiny hat. Beautiful.
Thank you. Let's say for my husband and I, these are new fashion choices.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, the oldest person I know is only a couple of centuries.
Oh, I'm sure they are wonderful. It's just that lately, it's been a while since we felt the presence of another such as ourselves. And not to hold you up, you're clearly doing very important things with your friend. Just take our card. And she hands you what at first looks like a completely black piece of paper, like a little card. But when you kind of look at it, and it glistens with gold, and it says Saint Hecate's And then under that, and much smaller, it says the city between cities.
That's very interesting. Thank you.
Oh, well, it's important that the arts are preserved. And she'll again pat you, and that current thumps through you. Again, like a thunderstorm. And she goes, "It's been good speaking to you." And she'll open the door, leave, put you back on the arm with the prince if you so wish.
If
Her
she's going to
husband-
open the door and leave, then I was going to leave from inside the room.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, you can do that really easily. This is yeah, you were in like a parlor where there was like a pool table and stuff like that. So yeah, you can go out another door and escape from the clutches of Prince Boring. So yeah, not too difficult. Where are you wanting to go?
I was going to head back to the main party room.
Perfect. Yeah, you can do that. Nobody harasses you or anything. So, Ichabod, what are you doing right now?
Ichabod would be moving down one of the back stairwells to go into the servants area to try to see if he can put his eyes on anybody who looks out of place.
Okay, give me an act under pressure as you kind of look for someone.
Ooh, that's a big no as well for a 6 in total. I am not doing so hot today.
As long as you're making experience, it's all worth it. Someone takes a swing at you.
Okay.
Yeah. What I roll kick some ass. Actually, yeah, because I don't think Ichabod is the kind of person that goes, "Hey, let's talk about this." Yeah, a person has swung at you. I'll say that they've missed, but you can throw hands back.
16.
Okay. Wow, a 16. Yikes. Okay.
16 out of 12.
Remind me not to take a swing at Ichabod.
Yeah. Oh boy. What
we
do
got
you want
the-
to do as your advanced move? My God.
Yeah, he hits hard. So
You are just punching him, so it is one
Yeah.
harm, but you get an advanced. So yeah.
I say that I suffer no harm at all. So basically, he
Okay.
blocks and then just strikes really hard, like just right in the middle of the guy's forehead to try to drop him to his knees to figure out what the hell is going on.
So the individual in question appears to be a butler, like an actual butler. I kept using the word butler freely, but like there's one of them, and he is older gentleman. You're a fighting man though, so you can tell that this guy knew or knows, I should say, how to fight. And yeah, you crack him right in the center of his face. He is going to try and make a break for it, though. He was going to try and catch you unawares. So he's going to make a run for it. Do you want to do anything to stop him?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Okay,
Ichabod.
perfect.
As soon as he starts to move, Ichabod goes in for a sweep or elbow to the back of the skull, something.
Okay,
of that nature.
give me another kick some ass then.
And at this point, the Enochian runes start to glow under his skin.
Yep,
He's like,
see that.
time to smite. Oh, not quite as good of a roll. 9. But still good enough for a 12 in total.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, you get another enhanced effect, I should say. So I'll say this. I mean, what you basically do is you go to grab him. You do grab him, however, he wriggles. And I don't mean he wriggles like moves his body.
Mm-hmm.
The flesh under his skin wriggles. He's not happy that you're grabbing him. But you hold on. What is the advanced effects that you take?
So I think double harm.
Okay.
So-
He is gonna. Oh, sorry.
So it's 4 since it's the smite. It's 4 harm.
Oof. Okay.
And if he is a monster and he's weak to my attack.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, you fuck him up quite badly. Okay. You hurt him. I will say, however, as your runes
Basically
are
just kind of
it's burning into his flesh, he gives the barest like And then literally a fist erupts from his chest and punches you in the gut for 2 harm.
Ooh, nice.
Yep. And
So I get
you're
-1 harm because I'm prepared to defend. But since he did hurt me, now my fight skill goes up.
Yeah, this is the thing I knew. That's why I went for a human thing, because I was like, this is just gonna die as soon as it meets Ichabod. But anyway, yes. So it's punched you in the gut.
There are truths universally accepted in society. Do not punch Aaron.
Yeah,
So Ichabod's grunts. He goes, "Listen, I don't want to have to kill you. So stop your wiggling around and I'll march you out of here and we can have a nice quiet talk, or I'm going to put you in the box."
He hisses back to you. Once the Dagger One is dead, I shall be gone from this plane of existence. And he's gonna try and make another swing at you.
Okay.
So you're gonna need to kick some ass again.
All right. So yeah, Ichabod at that point, he's like, kind of internally shrugs his shoulders and brings the hammer.
I will say, just as a heads up, this is probably the last time because you'll be able to do this, because people will probably start coming this way. So you'll need to wrap this up somehow.
Okay, so +1 on the die takes me to a 14 in total.
Oh wow. Okay.
Well, yeah, because I'm at +6 now.
Yeah.
On top of the
My
dice. So
God. Okay. Well, what's the enhanced effect you'll take first?
double damage again. He's trying to put this guy down now at this point. He knows he's got to finish this fast. So another 4 harm, and like I said, he's weak to my attacks. So
He is in a lot of pain. You've actually singed through the clothing at this point, and he's disheveled. Like, it's very obvious he's just been in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, however, you can hear people talking. Guests or staff are coming this way. Or sorry, staff, because you're in the staff quarters. Like,
so he's like,
that area.
so Ichabod says, "That's enough out of you. You can't be drunk on duty. If you're not going to allow me to escort you out, I'll have to knock you out and carry you out. This is a nice place."
Give me a manipulate someone, because that is now 2 weight staff coming around the corner.
So fortunately, I've got fervor, so I get to use tough instead of charm when I manipulate somebody.
Perfect.
So I got a 6 on the die, plus my tough is a 9.
Oh, nice frozen.
Oh,
Yep. Okay. I was
So,
thinking,
two individuals come round. Oh, am I frozen?
yeah,
you're
hang-
back.
you're back now.
Okay. So two wait staff come round. They are very clearly on break. They look really pissed off. And they see you come round. Now they hear the part that you said. And one of them kind of comes over confused. And they go, I'm sorry, what's going on here? There seems to be confusion. Jeremiah wouldn't be drunk on duty. And I will say this, you're an intimidating guy. And that's where the further's coming in. It's not that they want to believe you because you're convincing them, like, genuinely. It's because you're scary. And
yeah.
they're not wanting to tangle. But this is where the 9 comes in. You're gonna have to do something to convince them he is drunk. And I will say he is going to, if he gets the opportunity, emphatically convince them that you're in the wrong. So how do you pitch to them that they should listen to you instead of him?
Listen, I don't make the rules. The boss sent me in here to walk him out because of something he did. I don't know what it is. I don't care what it is. I'm just supposed to get him off the floor and away from the guests, and he's throwing a hissy fit. So if you want to help your friend out, help me get him out of here.
The person will kind of look at you and then look to Jeremiah, then look back to you, and just they'll throw their hands and say, No, I'm on break. I'm not in the mood for this. I'm sorry, Jeremiah. I'm not getting involved. They will not help you, but they are gonna leave you be. And the person
Even
there
better,
also
thank
is
God.
just like, yeah, no, I'm not getting involved in this. Where you went, Jeremiah, for now, he does seem to cooperate. There was this window where he could have caused a fuss, but now that they're not coming to his aid, he is relenting to an extent. I will say though, you're not going to be able to get him far before he starts resisting again, and he probably will try and make a scene. So where are you wanting to take him?
So I'm just trying to move him a little deeper in the servants' quarters, and I'm whispering in his ear. I'm like, listen, if you got a case to make as to why you're here and who you're trying to stop, make it quick and make it quietly. I don't want to have to hurt you anymore.
Okay. You can probably find a cupboard. I know it's not the most glamorous, but a cupboard is probably the most
Perfect.
like
That's perfect.
quiet place. You can get in there with him. I will quickly, just before we start talking with him, Aggie and Billy. I'm going to make this really easy. Aggie, you find Billy. Billy is not difficult to find. Are you trying to get to the servants' quarters, or were you just trying to get to a? Sorry, I have just thingied for your character. What were you trying to do? You were trying to get to a main area, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to get to the other two to see if I can help them in some way.
Okay.
So if I find Billy first, then I find Billy first.
We will expedite things. You do find Billy. Billy's not done a great job of concealing himself. He's been very loud. There's a lot of very...
What kind of operation are you running here? Tipping
yeah.
the trays over.
And the funny thing is, normally Billy is not imposing in any capacity, but these are already quite stressed out people. And even though he's quite unopposing, he looks like he's meant to be here. It's not fun. No one's having fun, not even Billy. So yeah, you're seeing him kind of cause problems. I will say, Billy, you're probably not going too far because then security will show up. So I trust that you're probably just being whiny rather than...
And like that way I didn't actually do anything wrong. So Billy feels kind of bad about that.
No, I know. It's all pretend. But I'm saying, like, you're probably not, like, throwing tables. Because that's when, like, regardless if you're meant to be here, they're not going to let you do that.
So Billy's trying to look around to see anything suspicious. But at the same time, if anyone looking up at him, he's trying to pretend like, get away from me. I'm still angry with you.
I'm going to go storming over to Billy then, and I'm going to slap him, and I'm going to start shouting at him in Polish.
Okay.
And then grab him by the arm and drag him off further into the servants' area.
I'm not having
so
fun
not
with
going back
spying
into the
stuff
party,
anymore.
but like I'm dragging him off somewhere else.
I'll let you do that because they want him gone. There might be future problems because they all have seen you go into further in, but they're not going to stop you. They have shit to do. Yeah, you can get through into there. Yeah, so you're
as
probably,
soon as we're out of sight.
Yeah.
Bamf, because I've got hold of him, I'm using my angel wings to teleport to where Ichabod is.
Okay.
With Billy. And 3, 6, 7, 8. Let me check the numbers on that.
Yeah, I don't have that part of the thing, so you have to tell me.
Oh, I don't quite manage it, so I'm going to use my reroll.
Okay, yeah, use that reroll.
Otherwise,
sorry if people have
teleported
been giving
apart.
me rerolls. I don't have the stream open, so I don't
We've each got
Right,
one.
there we go. 10.
Everybody's got one.
Okay. Ichabod.
There we go. So 10, we bamf into the cupboard.
Yeah, the
where
cupboard just got
Ichabod is.
really cramped. Like it was already not.
I figured you meant like broom cupboard rather than cupboard under the sink.
Oh no, it's a broom cupboard, but also it's a functioning broom cupboard. There's not a lot of space for 2 grown men. Now 2 other grown adults are in here, so it's quite tight, but you know, you didn't fuck it up, so you've teleported in just the right sweet spot where they were. Jeremiah looks very shocked at this. I will say, Ichabod, you just felt like, right, and then as soon as you say that, poof, poof, they're right in front of you. But what is going on here? Who are these people?
Listen, we're the ones asking questions. They're associates of mine. So all I want to know is what your purpose is here, why you decided to attack me, and whether or not it's something we need to be worried about.
Who are you two? Kind of looks to the pair of you. Billy and Aggie, I mean.
Don't talk to us. He's asking the questions.
Is this the thing you found him?
I don't think this is the thing. I think this is something else hunting the thing, but I may be wrong.
I'm not a thing. How dare
Well,
you?
what are you then? You're not a demon.
No, I am not of the sulphurous kind.
You're not a witch.
No, I'm not her either. I am a doppelganger.
Ah, so you are the thing we're here for. So what are you doing here?
What are you doing here? Aside from catching me, why do you care why I am here?
This guy really doesn't get the you're asking questions thing, does
Listen,
He's fucked up, but I will say
he's
he's
tough.
a monster. Like, I need to make this clear. There's not a mechanical way for you guys to tell him to do
Right.
something. Like, if he wants to, he could just throw hands and you could kill him.
Yep.
He's doing this more because he's hurt, and also because you're weird enough that he's hedging his bets. But I'm just trying to make that clear. There's not much you can do to tell him definitively to do something.
Listen here, Jeremiah. We were sent in as security specialists to deal with the unnatural. Technically, that's you. Doesn't mean we have to end this badly. We're just trying to get to the bottom of why you're actually here.
I seek to kill Archibald Pip. And you notice there's actually a kind of disconcerting voice change. Like, you've never met Jeremiah, but this doesn't sound like Jeremiah's voice, if that tracks. The posture changes, like it's a different person now here talking in Jeremiah's place.
Any particular reason why you want to kill Mr. Pitt?
Look around you. What do you
Party
see?
like this? Why not sneak in quietly when he's asleep and just,
Hey, Aggie, we're not supposed to be giving the monsters ideas. I'm just saying.
Well, pretty dumb coming to a massive party like this with all the extra security.
No,
I get the sneaking in disguise thing. What did you do with the real butler?
Oh, he is dead.
Well, that's not nice. You couldn't just knock him out and put him in a box?
I am planning to murder a man in his stead, and then I shall take the form of another and leave. I shall also kill them.
okay. So what I hear is that you're a serial murderer who intends to kill the owner of this house because he's rich.
Yes.
Ichabod throws the hardest punch he can, trying to separate this creature's head from its spine.
When you do, he disappears. Not
Damn it.
disappears like poof. He for a moment, it's actually quite terrifying. He appears in one instant, and then there's perhaps a split second where the three of you see him like kind of, and he's gone. I will say, if you want to act into pressure, you could perhaps see where he's going.
I will give it my best
Give
shot.
it your best shot.
I will use my reroll.
Yeah, that's probably wise.
My best shot was not very good. All right, that's a little better. So 9 on the dice, act on the pressure is cool. An 11.
Oh, okay. He's turned into a cockroach. I will say this now because it's probably not going to come up. So doppelgangers don't like turning into animals. Like, really don't like turning into animals. However, you were probably about to KO him. So he's taken his last resort. An 11, if you'd gotten a 12, I probably would have let you try and stomp him or something. But all you see is that he scurries away. Like, he goes into one of the crevices of the broom cupboard. You don't know where he's off to, but he's gone.
Right. Well, that didn't go too well. Aggie, can you track that thing with your magic hoodoo? It was the cockroach that just went under the counter there.
Yeah, okay. I won't be tracking what he looks like. I'll be tracking him by his essence. But
yeah, and you got a good look at him. So
yeah, I can try and track him.
okay.
Well, we definitely need to put him underground. So,
He's probably going to be going to find someone else to copy.
right, we got to get to him before he kills anybody else. I should have just ended him in the hallway, but damn it.
Well, it's encouraging to see a more listening side of you.
I know it was a mistake. I'll work on that flaw in my character.
Incidentally, I
it's
think
a
there
shame
might
he
be
wasn't more talky.
some supernatural movers and shakers around as well. There's more than just us and him here.
Let's finish him and then we can fall back and punt.
Okay, I will use magic to Do. There isn't anything that says track, but it's beyond human limitations tracking something with magic, isn't it?
Yeah, I actually wouldn't be too bad. Yeah. Yeah, no, you would probably have to go with do something beyond human limitations. So you want to track him. Okay, yeah, I'm happy with that. Yeah, beyond human limitations, I have just decided.
I mean, alternatively, I've got third eye, so I could read a bad situation.
Yeah, actually, yeah. No, that would
to
be
see
good.
an invisible trail.
Okay, yeah, no, that could work. I was also going to say, I just realized you could do one of you could do investigate mystery because you can just do what what is it going to do, or where did it go? You could also just do that.
Well, Leon, you could try and work out where it would go to ground using your logical, strategical mind, and I'll try using my third eye to read a bad situation and track him.
Okay.
Can you track with read a bad situation?
No.
Act under
no.
pressure.
The bad situation is more
it's
looking
not.
at a.
All right, well,
but if you're using your third eye,
I'll use my magic to.
Okay,
track.
use your magic. I will also say, Billy, maybe it would be worth, if you're going to do investigate mystery, to, if you get the choice to a question, what sort of creature is it, might also be wise. That's not because I want a lore dump. It's totally not because I want to do that. Of course not.
Okay.
Okay, so I got an 8. So it's an effect and a glitch. So the effect is I want to track him.
I'll let you
And
pick the glitch.
The glitch that I'm going to go for is that
If I could make a suggestion, I think that the magic draws immediate unwelcome attention is probably the fairest, because
that's the one I was kind of thinking. It was either that or problematic side effect.
Let's go with that, because I have to come up with what a problematic side effect is, and I don't have one off the top of my head. So we'll leave that for now. Billy, what did you roll, or you don't have to, but okay.
10, 7 plus 3.
Okay, so you get 3 questions. No, you get 2 questions.
What type of creature is it?
Okay, you don't have to ask that. You can ask something else if you prefer.
No, it makes sense. No, it's going to be that, and where did it go?
So the where does it go? If it went through there, the logical place it's going to go is to where Archibald is. It's more likely that he was heading there using the service quarters, if Ichabod tells you. However, Ichabod wasn't a guard that he knew, so it's likely that's why he struck first and didn't, because he had to be something here for a bad reason. He's going to where Archibald Pitt is. You never saw him, so it's presumably that's where Archibald is. As to what it is, so he says he's a doppelganger. Doppelgangers are boogeymen. The supernatural world doesn't really know much about them. So you'd know the animal thing. They don't like turning into animals, at all. It's very demeaning. The other big thing you'd know is that they're very good at holding shapes. So he doesn't necessarily have to pop out of Cockroach into something else. He can turn back into Jeremiah, no problem. He might have other forms stored up. The fact that he killed the host is news to you, because nobody really knows why doppelgangers take someone else's form. Even other shapeshifters are a bit like, why are you doing that? You could just look like a normal person who is not attached. So it's very confusing. I know it's a bit mean to be like, you want to know more about it? Well, nobody knows. But it's all myths and rumors. You can come up with your own things. You as a conspiracy theorist probably think that doppelgangers are related to I don't know, the moon landing or something. Even supernatural communities, witches probably think that they are really advanced witches. People who hunt demons probably think they're just another type of demon. Every small niche of the supernatural community has their own belief, but there's nothing hard. Mostly because doppelgangers don't reveal themselves, probably for this exact reason, because they can just go, fuck it, I'll get away from you. Aggie, you can see his trail. He has actually not gone terribly far. Cockroaches are quite quick when they want to be. So he's basically scurried up. You can see the little trail through the actual like walls and material of the building, and he's actually just scurried up to the 3rd floor and has presumably turned back into a human because he's moving at a much greater distance. You also hear a snap. The other two don't, but you do. The security's gone off. This place had magical protections, and you have just triggered it. So
Good news, bad news.
What
It's
do
on
you
the
got,
top
Aggie?
floor. This place had magical security, and I just tripped it.
Well, we'll deal with that when it comes. Can you just, like, woo, and get us to the 3rd floor?
I can give it a go. Would the magic security prevent me from using any of my powers?
Nope, but they'll know you're there because that was the whole thing, is that the BAMF the first time was fine because it wasn't really expecting you, but now it knows that you're magical and that you're there because you were quite obvious with your scanning. I guess the best way is you looked at the security funny and it went, oh, hey, wait a minute, because obviously the demon and the witch were also in here and they didn't set off. So yeah, you can BAMF, but they'll know you're there.
Well, maybe if we're able to keep this pit guy alive, they won't, do whatever crap they want to try to pull.
I've seen enough movies to know that when we get to the top floor, he's basically going to be disguised as the pit guy, and they're both going to try and convince us that the other one is the monster.
Well,
And 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I bamf us to the top floor.
Perfect. Where are you trying to go? Specifically to Pit's room,
I
or
can
just
only go
where...
to bits that I've been able to see up to, so it will literally be an upper floor landing.
So, yep, you have...
I
well,
can
was gonna
teleport
say,
anywhere I've been.
yeah. Okay. Where you've
And
yeah.
what's the other term on it? So, angel wings. You can instantly go anywhere you visited before or to a person you know well. So I can teleport to either of these two, no problem.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I have to have seen the place to be able to teleport there.
Let's say the landing then. There's no guards because, as I said, the internal security isn't really designed to be stopping people. I will say the door that would lead up there is closed. When you try it, it unlocks. There's no reason. It's kind of politeness, I guess, that they're expecting people not to go up here. And you start taking off down the corridor. Jeremiah is nowhere to be seen. He clearly has booked it. I would say he looked to have a fairly athletic build, and also he's a doppelganger, so he may have just zhuzhed himself up for speed. I will ask you all to make an act under pressure, and I will say this as the GM. If you succeed well enough, you can beat Jeremiah there. If you don't do well enough, there will be a condition, and if you fail, you'll get there before you. So there you go. And I need all three of you to do it, not just... okay.
7 for Billy.
Okay, Billy. Yep.
12 in total
12?
for Ichabod.
I
Perfect.
only have +1 cool.
10 on the die.
3, 4, 5,
Okay, that's
6.
good.
Oh, actually, it's 10.
I'm going to go with my reroll that I got from chat.
Go with your reroll. Come on, let's get all three in the room.
5.
Okay. Billy, you're trying your best. You
I'm not
are
built for
going
cardio.
at the fastest that you think you've ever gone before. Aaron and not Aaron, Ichabod and Aggie
Just took off.
book ahead you. Like, they're gone. They're like just sprinting off. I will
I'm
say
doing
that
this in heels.
I know, yeah, it's impressive. Aggie, you and Ichabod both see him quickly shut a door in front of you. However, Ichabod, I'll say, is you're 12. The extra thing you get is you manage to get your foot through the door. And I'll say that, and it hurts a little bit, but you don't take any damage. I won't be that cruel. If he just shut this door, it would have taken a moment or two to break it down because it's designed to stop people getting in. So yeah, you should be able to get in. He has run. He's still going. I will give both of you an act under pressure once again, or a kick some ass if you'd prefer, or if Aggie wants to shoot him with magic, you can also do that to neutralize him. Warning: if you go loud, people will hear you.
I'm definitely going to kick some ass, and I'm just, the glowing Enochian fist of smite.
Okay, Billy, I need you to act under pressure. Guards are coming.
I am going to throw a wall up in front of him for him to run into.
Ooh, okay.
And it's a wall of force, so he won't be able to see it.
Perfect. Okay, then. Roll weird. Ichabod, what did you get?
13 in total.
Excellent.
And
Have
that's
you
a
rolled?
10 on my wall,
Perfect.
which is a 1 harm magic barrier close.
Okay.
Oh no, 1 armor obvious loud. It's not invisible.
Okay, yeah, so he sees it, but he's kind of in a magical force field and a pissed off Rust. So he's not, his options aren't great. Billy, what did you get for your act under pressure?
7.
Okay. You have hidden yourself. The guards have come past. These are the heavily armed ones. They've gone past you except for 2 that are kind of looking. If what Aggie and Ichabod don't get resolved soon, you'll confront these guys. You're like, I presume, I mean, you can be hiding anywhere, but you're hiding behind or in something, and they're now looking around the room. I'm not going to say they're going to assault you, but you're not meant to be here. So if Aggie and Ichabod don't finish up soon, they will find you.
Okay.
Not because they're really good, but just there's only you're in a hall.
Would it be the sort of place that just has curtains on the walls?
Yeah, it's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You're hiding behind there, but they're professionals, so it's a
They can
tiny
look
game
behind the
for you.
curtain on the wall. Yeah, they're not idiots.
Your shoes are sticking out. the
Yeah.
wall.
Yeah. but you're hidden for now. It's
Yeah.
as I said, that's the hard move. Is that there's not much you can do unless you want to like start kicking the shit with them, which might not be wise.
It's not really Billy's
Ichabod and
forte.
Aggie. So Aggie, he does stop just before he smacks into your shield. Ichabod doesn't stop and smacks into him. You are at this point in what presumes to be kind of like a dining room. It's not okay. For rich people, it's not that extravagant. For a normal person, it's like a 5-star hotel, Ritz kind of place. And, you know, you've kind of cornered him in here. I will say this, Ichabod, you are experienced enough in executing things that he's on his last legs. Like, it's not going to take much because I don't know what you're going to take as your advanced move, but I imagine you do quite a bit of harm with these glowing runes and all that kind of stuff. So you can coup de grace him. Before anything happens, I should note you guys can hear the guards now as well as they're trundling because they're not being quiet. You kind of look around the room and there is a older gentleman sitting at the head of the dining table. It's not a big one. It's maybe could seat 8 people at most, the chair he's in included. And he's kind of passively watching you, not surprised, but also not... It's not surprised, he's not shocked, but he's also not like, haha, smarmy, I knew this was all happening. He's interested. You've piqued his interest. He's sitting in quite a nice, an evening gown, like what Hugh Hefner would wear, that kind of like the morning coat kind of look.
Smoking
Refined.
jacket. Yeah,
Refined, but also like he wouldn't be going downstairs like meeting people kind of thing unless it was obvious that he'd just woken up. The doppelganger is trying to say something, but I imagine Ichabod, you're leaning probably quite heavily on him, so he's not really getting a word in edgeways. I will ask you guys to roll me one final act under pressure.
Including me.
No, not you, Billy. You're all right. Your act under pressure is not getting caught by these guys.
So I got a 10 on the die for a 12 in total. So I'm rolling rocks tonight.
You are
Nice.
rolling
I got
amazingly.
9 on the dice for a 10 in total because I'm not very cool, but
No,
I
no,
am
that's
more
good.
cool than I am charming.
Aggie, this man has a striking resemblance to Benny. Like, they're related, striking. Ichabod, this man has a striking resemblance. You notice he has pins on his morning coat. You wouldn't have noticed them otherwise. Like, the face, you would have gone, oh, that's Benny. But what's really noticeable is he has quite a lot. Not like decorated war hero level, but probably about 10, 15. And two of them are familiar. One of them is a dagger, and one of them is actually the little book that you saw the clerk having as well. And he's kind of an eyebrow raised. It's at this point that the guards do come through. However, their boss is here, so they're not like waving the guns around. Aggie, they're not surprised by the magical force field, but they are doing that thing where the guns are just, if they need to, can be whipped on you pretty quickly. Weirdly, Ichabod, they don't have anything on you, but that's probably because you're on another person, so they don't really care. The man, quite quiet voice, just says, "Oh, is that you there, Stephen?" And you can, like, Ichabod, you can feel, like, it's fury. You don't know how you can understand this from the wriggling under the skin, but whatever this is, it's like a cat. It's just every part of him is just enraged. And the man kind of gives a shrug, Archibald. "Oh, didn't do too bad this year. Would have thought you would have done it, but I guess, guess everything worked out as it always does. Gentlemen, if you could escort Stephen away. You two, dear, take the thing down. Yep, it goes away. They come over to take the man away from you, the doppelganger. Do you let them, Ichabods, or?
Yeah, he looks at me. He's like, "Well, clearly you're actually the boss, so it's your call."
Oh,
Ichabod lets him go.
Yes,
Hand stops glowing.
let them take Stephen. It's fine. I will say, like, just basic social awareness. He says Stephen more than is necessary. Like, he's repeatedly saying Stephen. Like, not like in like Stephen, but like rather than saying him or you or them, he's going out of his way to avoid that. He goes, "Well, that's good. I'll make sure that the agency knows of your service. I'm sure." And he kind of turns and points. It looks just like a painting, but he kind of points and is like, "Yeah, no, they'll have seen. So you can go."
Right. Nice party.
"Oh, thank you. I try to have a nice party."
Ichabod just kind of shakes his head. He goes, "All right, back to the van, team."
Aggie, do you go with Ichabod? Okay, yeah. Yeah. He's not, like, he's literally sitting there, like, again, in that very impassive, rich way of, like, "You are done here. You no longer need to be in my presence," kind of thing. Billy, they do find you, but at the same time that they've, like, pulled the curtain back, Ichabod and Aggie are coming down. There's another guard. The two of them kind of, one of them does kind of go, "Huh," and the other one kind of does the, they don't do anything. Like, I mean, one of them kind of like does that kind of like, "Come on, you," but then when he sees the other two come down, he goes, "Yeah, right, there you go." But yeah, they don't seem very hostile to you now. Like, initially when they thought someone was breaking in, they were, but the boss knows you, so that's good enough for them. You okay, Aggie? You're making lots of confused faces. You can stay if you want to. Like,
no, I'll
leave.
You.
Okay.
But I just feel like we've been cheated outrageously by this guy.
What? No,
on,
that would
Aggie.
never happen.
It was a test, obviously, and whether we passed or failed, at this point, I just want a beer.
You're with them, by the way, Billy.
I can have a beer.
But as they get outside, actually, Ichabod's going to pull Aggie aside for a second before we get back to the van and let Billy walk on ahead.
The clerk's waiting there for you with the little car.
Hey, Aggie,
Yeah.
I got a favor to ask you. You're a little older now. I wouldn't ask you this when you were a kid, but something came up tonight, and I may need your help with it.
That the demon you were talking about.
Yeah, I had to make a deal. Owe the demon a favor to get.
You made a deal with a demon?
Shit
Sorry,
happens
that was
sometimes.
probably a bit louder than it needed to be.
Nah, that's all right. I would appreciate some discretion on this, but
Yeah,
listen, when this demon M calls in this favor, one of two things are going to happen. Either I'm not going to give a shit about fulfilling the favor and it's not a big deal, or it's going to be something I'm not going to want to do. If it's something I'm not going to want to do, you got to do me a favor. You got to kill me before I do it. And don't
Okay.
tell anybody about it.
That's some extreme heroism. Or how about plan C? We track the demon from the soul mark that she's just placed on you, and I blow her face off.
Hey, that might work, but you never can tell with these demon promises. Just promise me that if I come to you and say, you got to put me down, you're going to put me down. And we'll leave it at that.
Okay,
I don't-
sure.
Clearly, Paz would do it in a heartbeat, but I don't
Well,
trust
let's be
her
honest, you
doing
do it
the
to any
right
of the
time.
rest of us, so we might as well
That's true.
return the
I
favor.
feel like Ichabod has had this conversation with every member of the team. Like, look, when the time comes, yes, we'll put you
Yeah,
down.
we'll put you
It's
down.
all right, Ichabod. Thank you for my birthday present. Right, remember, when the time comes, yeah, we know.
As long as
Or
we're clear on
socks.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll probably be another way, but if that's what you need, yeah, I can put you down.
You're a good friend there, Aggie. I appreciate it.
There was some freaky stuff going on in that place.
Yeah, I think we were set up on multiple levels. Obviously, there were things in there trying to push our buttons for very specific reasons. But
Yeah. But also the agency let a demon run
Come on.
around.
you know what Stanley's always told us, that these guys are a bunch of fucking psychos. Not that he's ever said it on an open line, but
I have questions.
So the three of you make your way down. The clerk drives you back. You get to the van. You've got to take these costumes off. You're probably a bit sweaty, especially you, Ichabod. You've been running around wrestling with people. And when you open the door, there is Stanley with Benny and the others. They're there as well. And he pulls like a little party popper, but it just goes boo, and then goes boo. Like it's very lame. And he kind of looks a bit sad about it. He's like, oh. I mean, I guess they're 10 years old. Never mind, it's fine. But yay, you guys did it. You've got, and he pulls out. So it's not as nice as his badge. It does say advisory, and that's in bigger text than agent. But it's there, and you have badges now, and you can now. He also on the badge is the phone number. You can now call in for assistance from the agency, and he's very excited. And he says you're all getting pizza tonight. I mean, you always have pizza every night. It's expensive pizza.
Oh, is this real lamination?
well, Stanley, you know how much I love expensive pizza. So
Yeah, you guys have earned it. I'm so proud of you all. Seriously. And also like Paz and Leopold and the rest of them are there. I know that sounds really fake, but they've also completed what they were tasked to do. And I think we'll just end on this scene. So as you all get into the stand, we'll be able to drive off for your pizza. Benny is left. He was not coming with you. And he picks up his agency phone and simply says, oh, they passed. Yeah, no, I was shocked too. Yeah. Well, Operation Orange is still full and ready to go. All right. Okay. Over and out. Hangs up. And that is where we will end it. So thank you for watching. I hope you had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun writing this. I hope my players had a lot of fun.
that was awesome.
And I'm just really glad to do this. Ben, can you help me with what is coming up in the week and all that kind of stuff? Or do you
Yes.
need-
Well, Aaron first.
Oh, Aaron,
No,
yes.
because that's yesterday's game. It's not yesterday. It's today. Today is Friday, which means that next week we have got the full regular slate. So on Tuesday, we've got Coriolis, probably. A discussion is currently being had. Secret projects. Wednesday is Once Upon a Time in the Old World with Jim and the Warhammer crew. Thursday in Europa, we've got the last episode of Cyberpunk Red, where we're going to hit the motorway and someone's going to shoot a rocket launcher and we're going to fight like a whole biker gang, just the three of us. It'll be fine. And then Thursday night or Thursday in North America.
Will be Savage Pathfinder. Since I'm not going to be playing Thursday night because it's my wife's birthday, Matt's going to take them through a pirate adventure using the Savage Worlds Adventure Edition rules for Pathfinder.
Nice. And then next Friday, Nye is back in the hot seat for
Oh,
another episode of Monster of the Week, which might be Operation Orange by the sound of things.
No.
I don't know. That's the thing that the bad guys are going to do. And we'll be like, oh shit, we've been the bad guys. Damn it.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
On the upside, though, having survived that encounter was enough to tip my experience level over to the point where I have been able to take a move from another playbook.
Ooh, how about we save that for next week? Because then
Let's
we can do all the level up stuff.
Yeah,
I
I've got to do that as well.
Yep.
Me too.
So yeah, I think we'll end it here. So thank you again, everyone, for watching. Thank you again if you're watching on YouTube. It's been really lovely. So yeah, bye. Bye.